Thank you. Back with Jamie McLennan and Darren Drager. It's hard to read much into media availabilities when no player really wants to say anything when they're in the midst of the Stanley Cup Final. But what's your assessment of where the Oilers are at psychologically in this position? They've dreamed of their whole lives, and now suddenly, in the blink of an eye, they're down 2-0.
Well, Oilers captain Connor McDavid acknowledged that, and there has to be a balance, right? You have to have razor-sharp focus to stay alive in this series, and Game 3 absolutely is must-win for the Edmonton Oilers, but also embrace the looseness of what it takes to enjoy the moment. As he said, this is a dream come true. They're playing in the Stanley Cup Final, and I think to a player that is shared, including the coaching staff as well. I thought Chris Knoblauch was very, very forthcoming, but there's some things that the Oilers are going to have to take advantage of and work on in Game 3. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins talks about winning battles in all three zones. I mean, if you're dumping the puck in the offensive zone, get to that puck first. They got outmanned and outbattled by the Florida Panthers in Game 2, so they have to find a way to change that up. Zach Hyman telling me, look, embrace messy. What's wrong with a messy goal every once in a while? And that speaks to what I said earlier about Connor McDavid, possessing the puck as he does at will in the offensive zone, but just every once in a while, throw it on net. It doesn't have to be tic-tac-toe every single time.
There has to be desperation, and you mentioned the loose puck battles. The Florida Panthers are brilliant at forcing that physical game and then coming out with the puck. But the desperation is you're in the Stanley Cup Finals. This isn't a Tuesday night in November where maybe it's a little bit of a half effort there, not in the lane. Too many times, I've talked about critical errors. You cannot have critical errors in the finals, especially digging in. So loose puck battles have to sway on the Edmonton Oilers side.
But it always amazes me that they'll come out and say, we got to win puck battles, but you knew that before Game 2 that you had to win. I guess desperation only comes from true desperation when you have to win 4 out of 5 in a series. Florida Panthers having some travel issues. Are you surprised at all that they waited till the day before? They haven't been out of the Eastern time zone since the middle of March. So am I overreading the fact that it takes a little bit of adjustment to come over here?
I thought that was a little bit weird or a little bit strange because a lot of times now the psyche could be both ways. When you go into Denver, sometimes guys are worried about the altitude, and they just fly in and they play, and they worry about the first 10 minutes when you're on the ice. Right. But when you're changing time zones and you've got the extra day off, I thought maybe you travel on that first day off, let everything settle down, get acclimated to the time zone, and then settle into kind of the media day today and then get after it tomorrow. But thought process for Florida, go the other way, try and land and play hockey.
Yeah, I think you do weigh the logistics of the process, right? And it's the lesser of the two evils. Now, look, Edmonton, their charter actually landed in Kansas City to gas up yesterday.
Whereas the Florida one went straight.
A direct flight. So, look, there'd be logistical reasons why the Florida Panthers have decided to stay the extra day. But they'll eventually get here, and they'll be ready to go in Game 3.
Look, we're looking at every detail when it comes to the series, and Edmonton has way more travel than Florida so far in the playoffs. But maybe it's an advantage that Edmonton's used to traveling long distances. We'll find out, I suppose, in Game 3.